Hello friends and welcome to another video. Today I'm bringing you a Flosstube. Yes, I am still in my hoodie. We got snow over the night and I want to take this off because I leave for work in about an hour and I was like, it's fine, I'll film in my work clothes before I leave and then I'll be all set. I want to take this off and it is way too cold. I'm getting every last second in this before I actually have to leave for work because I know it's going to be worse as soon as I step outside. The snow is like lying a bit more than what I thought it would. I thought we were just going to get a sprinkling and then it was going to get washed away with the rain, but it has lay about an inch and a half thick. So that's great. I mean, I don't mind the snow if I get to stay inside, but when I have to travel to work, I hate it because it eventually turns to ice and then you have to watch how you're walking because, you know, if you fall, you can severely hurt yourself and I'm clumsy. I'm clumsy on a normal day. So add ice into that equation and it spells disaster for me. So hopefully I will get to work without any issues and I am going to keep this hoodie on so that I can stay warm right up until the moment where I actually have to leave this house. I'm going to be starting with new starts today. So if you didn't watch my last Flosstube video, I'm going to be chaptering my videos from now on. It will be new starts if I have any, then whips, then acquisitions if I have any, then plans. So we're going to start with new starts. I have one, and I'm so excited to show it. Get all these out. Is it this one? It is this one. In my last Flosstube video, I mentioned that I acquired the pattern I See You in My Dreams by Genovia Art. This is charted by Hade, and I bought the mini, and this is the first time I've ever taken on 22 count fabric. So I'm doing this on 22 count hardanger, and it is also the first time that I'm ever doing tent stitch. I thought that I would give this a try. So there's no before picture because this is a new start, but this is how we are looking. I think that this is looking fairly good. The coverage is great. The coverage is really nice. This is 2/1 tent, and I use CXC threads, which I think is why the coverage looks so nice because the CXC seems to be a little bit fluffier than DMC. So my plan is to work in this section and get the castle in so I can see how I'm gonna like the detail because I'm worried like the tent stitch look good like it looks good right now, but I'm worried that once I start getting into the details of the piece that I might lose some of the definition. So I thought the best idea would be to come down this bit here and kind of fill in the castle so that I can see what kind of detail I'm going to get for this whole piece. And I think I like the tent stitch. It goes really fast. I got 2,528 stitches, half stitches, for a total of 2.03%. So I managed to get like 2,500 stitches on this piece. Um, I don't know, I think I actually have how long I worked on it. I've been keeping track of my days and how much have I worked on this? One, two. I also started this on the 22nd of January. I leave information cards on screen for the artist, the company, and the name of the pattern. I also leave my start dates and my progress numbers on the screen. So hopefully you already know that I started this on the 22nd of January. But I have stitched one, two, three, four, five, six. I've spent 6 days on this pattern and got 2,500, 2,500, yeah, yeah, 2,500 stitches. And that is like so good for me because when I stitch on my full coverage with 1/1 full, 2/1 full cross, sorry, it does go a lot slower. So I did notice that this is a lot quicker of a project. I just hope that the detail is still there so that I can continue. I also hope that I don't get any tension lines because I know that can be an issue with tent stitch. I am doing the tent stitch. I don't know how to explain it, but I can't remember if it's continental or not. I'm trying to do it that way, but I think I can sway to the other way as well because you can't, like, it's really hard to stick to one way when doing tent stitch, I've noticed. And it's maybe something that I need practice with, but I am switching it so that it shouldn't have tension lines. And I'm also starting with a part of the pattern that has something that I can see so that if I don't like the definition that it gives, I can abandon this project, start it different. I can maybe flip the fabric over and start it on the other end with 1/1 full cross if I just don't like the definition that the tent stitch is given. But this pattern is looking good so far, and I'm very excited and I'm enjoying the tent stitch on this. What is next? What is next? Stranger. Next, I have here Stranger versus Freddy. This is by Tilt and Crafts. I'm doing this 2/1 full cross on 18 count Ada, and I was originally working this in columns. I'll show you where we are at now. There we are. This is a face cloth that I'm using to hold my tension. So I was originally working this. Ooh. So I was originally working in these columns and then starting and going back up to the next column. But the tension and the thickness on the back just got too much that I decided to come over and start with these diagonals. And I feel like the back is a lot less thick and my needle's going through them easier. So I'm going to pop this to the side. This is the before, the last time you've seen it, and this is where we're looking at now. I got 501 stitches for a total of 2,459 stitches and 2.01%. So this is coming along. I'm enjoying working on this. There's not, I have a thread hanging, sorry. There's not much that I can really say about this. I'm liking moving from the columns to the diagonals by blocks. I'm like I like doing that. I like how it feels. My needle's going through the back a lot better. I'm not having to force my way through the back, which I am having to do that on one of my other projects. So I will talk about that in just a second. So I'm really enjoying this. My goal for this year is to get a page finish on this. So I do have to kind of take this out every month and try and get some stitches on it so that I can get that page finish in, which is like, I think these pages, because this is Tilt and Crafts, these pages are like smaller. Oh, I'm dropping things than the Heaven and Earth Designs pages. So I think I could do it. I definitely think I can do it. I just need to work on it a little bit every day in order to get it, you know, to where it needs to be. Next, we have No Time Like the Present. This is the 2024 sale for Modern Folk Embroidery. I'm not necessarily, oh, I'm dropping everything. I'm not necessarily keeping up with this sale because it's 3,500 stitches, I think, in a month, and I just like can't do that and focus on my other goals. So I'm happy to get 1,000 stitches into this a month, and I I will put on screen when I show my mock-up of this. I've put my colours into Pattern Keeper to show you the mock-up of what I will be doing, the colours I will be doing. And let me tell you, I've been on Instagram and seen so many beautiful colorways and fabric ways for this piece, and it just makes me so excited because I just think it's beautiful. So this is the last time that you've seen it, and now I managed to get 564 stitches in for a total of 1,746 stitches. This is currently at 4.91%. And I really enjoy this. I think because there's an equal amount of block stitching um for both colors. Like I think actually the gray has the most colors so far, but it might change when we get to the clock. I just love this. I love the repetitiveness of the border and coming in and doing like the little details. I think this is so much fun. So yeah, I'm really enjoying doing this, and I love the colors that I chose. I love the fabric that I chose, and I'm just having a blast with this sal, even though I'm not trying to keep up with it. I think I said that I would like to get like 1,000 stitches a month on this project, and even though that would take me nowhere near where I need to be to finish this by the end of the year, it does mean that I'm getting consistent progress in this. And because like it's two colors and a lot of it are block stitching, I think I could achieve that. I think I can achieve 1,000 stitches a month, keep up a little bit with this, and still get other stitches into my other projects to try and complete my other goals. Do, do. Go. Oh, actually. Next here I have Firefly by Amy Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. This was my first. This is a mini, and this was my first ever Heaven and Earth Design start. And I decided, this is messy. I'm so sorry. I decided to start this in Royal Rose. So Royal Rose is where you like come down and then you park underneath here, and then so when you go to pick up more colors, they're underneath. But my back is getting so thick that I had to go down a needle size, and then on top of that, I'm still struggling to get it through the back. I'm gonna show you the back, so if you don't like seeing the back of projects, look away now. Also, if you do look at the back of this project, don't judge. But the back is just so dang thick that I'm really struggling to get my needle through, and it's actually hurting me to work on this sometimes. So I don't know what the solution is for this one, whether I take it out of the Royal Rose and try a new method, which I kind of don't want to do because I do enjoy the way the Royal Rose looks. But the last time I stitched on this, what I done was I actually just took all the part threads here and filled them in. Um, the thing is I can always go back to Royal Rose if that's what I choose. But at this precise moment, it's just too much pain to go through this. So I don't know how I'm going to continue this. If you have any advice for me on this project, please leave that in the comments down below. I would love to hear your thoughts, because I'm just struggling to want to pick up this piece because it's so thick. And then I get like a certain amount of stitches in and I just feel pain. So I managed to get 456 stitches into this for a total of 8,669 stitches and 12.26%. And this is the before and after. I really do enjoy this. It's looking great and I can't wait to see this come to life, but I just am really struggling with the thickness on the back. So there's a couple options I've been thinking of. I can fill in, I can take all of these hanging threads, part threads, and I can fill them all in and then work by columns, but instead of columns down, columns along. I hope this is making sense. So I would work all these in, and then I would take the first color, the first instance here, and then work it all the way along. And then if I need to, I can snake it back and then keep doing that all the way down. So it's like the typewriter method, but snaking it down and staying within like the page. It wouldn't go further than the page. It wouldn't. I don't think it would be classed as cross country because it's still in the page and it would probably be in the page on the Q-snap. So it wouldn't go out of bounds. And I was thinking that maybe if I do that, it would stop the back being so thick. And it's also another method that I haven't tried yet. This was the one that I tried Royal Rose with. I tried columns going down with Freddy versus Stranger Things, and I didn't like it, so I've now changed that to diagonals. My I See You in My Dreams is 2/1 tent stitch, and my Mordor is color completion by page. So I'm taking a color and completing that in the one page, and then next color. So I'm doing all my full coverages in different methods. I just don't know if this full coverage lends well to the Royal Rose method. I think maybe because this is a mini and there is a lot of color changes, it's just too, it's got a lot of confetti. It doesn't look like it because it looks like a lot of dark colors, but it does have a lot of confetti. And I think that's why the Royal Rose method isn't exactly working the way that it should on this. I think maybe if I had a project that was a bit more block color or less colors, maybe it would work. I do have a pattern in my stash that has less colors and I think would lend well to the Royal Rose method. So if I change this to the typewriter method, then when I start my next full coverage, it would be that pattern and I can try the Royal Rose again. And the thing is as well, is I'm always of the opinion that I can come back and I can I can restart the Royal Rose method at any point I want. You know, if I change this and end up not liking the method that I choose, I can revert back to the Royal Rose method. So it's not like it's a permanent thing. I just think that trying something different and changing it up might lend well to me wanting to pick up this project. And also, I'm getting like less than 500 stitches in before I'm calling it a day because I'm really struggling with the pain that is causing me to stitch on this. I think that I actually think I have the numbers here. So I managed to get, like, even if we are calling I See You in My Dreams, because it's tent stitch, it's obviously not full stitch, it's going to go faster. But in 6 days, even if we call them full stitches, like submising, I got 1,300 stitches in 6 days because taking what I got in tent stitch and half in it would mean that it would be full cross. And it just went so smooth. And like I have heard people talk about hardanger that you have to be careful when you're pulling because your thread can slip under the fabric. And I do attest to that. You do have to be a bit more careful than if you're stitching on like Ada. But I have not seen huge amounts of issues as of yet. I am being a little bit more gentle and I'm being very aware of where my stitches lie. But it's like butter. Like the fabric is just so nice and floppy and the stitches are just so smooth. And I think coming off of something like Firefly and stitching on I See You in My Dreams is making me not want to stitch on Firefly because it's actually a challenge. So on Firefly, I spent in January 1, 2, 4. Is that right? So I spent 4 days on Firefly and got like half the amount of stitches in those 4 days that I got on I See You in My Dreams. And it's the same as like Freddy. What did I get on Freddy? I got 500 stitches on Freddy. I spent one. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I spent 500 stitches. I done 500 stitches on Freddy in 3 days. Is that correct? I think it is. So you can kind of tell, like, if I'm getting 500 stitches on Freddy, that's 2/1 full cross on 18 count in 3 days, and it's taken me 4 days on Firefly to not even hit that amount. That's where the struggle's coming in. So I think I'm best just changing up the method that I do this because it's just not working for me. And unfortunately it did, and I think that's before I got into the bulkiness. When I first started this project, it worked really well, but I was doing a lot of bulk stitching. There was a lot of black at the top for the trees and that. But now I'm getting into a lot of colour changes. The bag is just getting far too thick. So the next time you see this, it might look a lot different than what it looks like now. And the final project I have to show you is my A Little Bit of Magic by Stitcherovia. And my year-end goal on this is to hit 40%. So I've been working on this one, trying to get to that 40%. I love working on this. I think it's partially Stitcherovia's patterns and partially the fact that I'm doing this on River Hut Designs fabric, which I'm just absolutely obsessed with. So I held this the wrong way up last time, so I'm trying to make sure that it's the right way up so that I don't hold it the wrong way. Okay, let's see. Where are we? Do we have? Oh, I didn't iron anything because most of it's in Q snaps, but also I didn't really have time before I started work. Here we go. This is gonna have to. Oh, I'm just gonna hold it up normal. So this is where we have it, and I really hope that you're not seeing, like, I really hope you're seeing this. I don't really have anything to hold behind it. So this is A Little Bit of Magic by Stitcherovia, and I came down and just sort of worked. I worked in the width, and just started working like back up again, just for something different, really. And I will show you a before and after picture. I managed to get 510 stitches on this for a total of 3,230 stitches. I am 35.73% complete. I am really liking the look of this. I really enjoy stitching on this, and I'm having fun. Oh, I have just a random hair there. I'm having fun with it, and I can't wait for this to be done. I know, like, I don't know if this is like really a Halloween project because it just says everything's better with a bit of magic with some witches and ghosts and stuff. I suppose it could be, but my thought process, like, I am a Halloween lover all year round. I'm a spooky lover all year round. I'm a horror lover all year round. Like, this probably wouldn't just be a Halloween piece for me. I would probably have this somewhere at all times just because I like the spooky vibes. Now we are moving on to plans for February. So I should have another floss tube out. When is my next floss tube due out? That's I should have another floss tube out on the 1st of March. In March, I will have two floss tubes because I'm working off the assumption that I get one floss tube every 3 weeks instead of every month. So it would be, you know, this one will be uploaded now. You'll have 2 weeks of bookish videos, and then it'll be my next floss tube. It gives me enough time to still get enough stitches to show some progress, while also being a bit more frequent for those of you that want to see my progress more often. So my next floss tube will be the 1st of March, and then there will be another one coming in March. Think that might be, I think I'm going to have a floss tube extra as well at some point where I'm going to talk about my pattern stash and my wish list. So if you're interested in that, then subscribe and let me know in the comments and I can figure out when I can take that out. But yeah, so plans. My next floss tube will be on the 1st of March. So for my February goals, I have 300 stitches on Freddy. Because I want to get the page finished by the end of the year, I need to do something every month on this and Firefly, simply because if I don't keep up with it at the end of the year, I'm going to be trying to furiously stitch to get the page finished. I think Freddy will go quite quickly because the pages are smaller than the Heaven and Earth design pages. And now that I've moved to the diagonal, I'm really enjoying stitching on it. So 300 pages on 300 pages? Can you tell I make book videos too? 300 stitches on Freddy would be my goal for February. Then I would like to get 500 stitches on Firefly. I'm hoping with the 500 stitches I can fill in the hanging threads so that I won't have any hanging threads left on the project. And then when I go to pick it up next time, I can start the typewriter method and see how I get on with that one. Then we have 500 stitches on I See You in My Dreams. Now this is going to go real quick because it's tent stitch, and I've put 500 just because I do want to I want to make my goals challenging enough that I know that I have something to achieve, but also easy enough that if I want to stitch on something outside of these goals, I have the ability to do that. I'm kind of a stitcher where I like a little bit of structure, but I don't like oppressive structure. So if I have certain goals that I can meet and then also have time to stitch what I want when I want, that works out perfect for me. So I could potentially put more stitches into I See You in My Dreams because I really want to see how the castle looks in the tent stitch, because I am worried that the definition's not going to be there, and if it's not there, then I'm going to be left having to restart it. So the quicker that I get that in, the quicker I know where I'll stand. So this could be more, but my lesser goal is 500. Then we have 380 stitches on a little bit of magic. So 380 stitches on a little bit of magic will bring me to the 40%, which means I've hit my year end goal for this pattern. It does not mean that I will not stitch on this the rest of the year. It just means that this will be getting swapped out for one of my other patterns so that my other patterns can meet their goal. And I'm going to swap through them like this. So I'm going to do focuses, whatever I feel like a focus is, and then once one of the patterns hit its goal, I will swap it out. So once I hit my year end goal on this, I will swap it out to another pattern and try and work on hitting my year end goal with that. It kind of means that like Firefly, Freddy, No Time Like the Present are going to be always kind of on my rotation because those are the ones that need the most stitches to get my goal complete for the year, and everything else will be getting swapped out. So we will see how that goes. My next goal would be 1,000 stitches on No Time Like the Present. This is going to be the same for every month. Every month, I would like to get to the next 1,000, next 1,000. So by the end of the year, I should have 12,000 stitches. So technically, in February, I don't need to do 1,000 because I'm almost at the 2,000 mark. But my thought process is, if I just aim for 1,000 stitches a month, even if it's putting me over the amount of stitches I need, it gives me buffer for weeks or months that I don't stitch on this project or I don't meet that 1,000 goal. So I may as well just keep trying to hit it while I can. I just want to get 12,000 stitches by the end of this year. Whether I get more than that or not, that's fine. But this kind of gives me a buffer to, like, if I don't complete, for example, if say I complete 1,000 stitches in February, it would bring me almost to the 3,000 mark, which would almost be complete for March. Say I have a horrible month in March, touch wood, because we're not putting that energy out there. Then it means that if I only do 400 stitches, I'm still on track, if that makes sense. So that's 1,000 stitches on present. And then finally, I think what will probably happen is I will complete my stitches on a little bit of magic. And then I will swap it out for ghost face. I have this ghost face pattern. It's from Digitizing Everything. I started this on a whim and tried to do it really quickly for a present. I don't want to stitch on this anymore. I want to stitch the pattern, I just don't want to stitch it on this fabric because the fabric's too small. So straight away I was starting off on like a bad foot because I had to cut off the words in order to get the pattern to fit on this small piece of fabric. Also, I don't like the Ada. It's 16 count Ada. I don't mind 16 count Ada, but because I'm doing white, I'm doing a lot of white on white stitching and it's not fun. So I think I've ordered a piece of Don't Forget the Cranberries from River Hut Designs, and once that arrives, I'm hoping what I can do is I can finish my stitches in a little bit of magic before that piece of fabric arrives, and then I can restart Ghostface on that fabric because I'm just not having fun. I'm not having fun with this fabric. I'm not having fun stitching white on white. It's not doing it for me. So I would rather just stop it now and restart it on something that's going to bring me joy than continue drudging my feet on this one. So I did have Ghostface slated for an October finish. And even though it's going to be a new start, probably by the start of March, I still think I can have it done by October. It's a lot of block stitching. It may be a stretch goal, but I'm going to try and aim for it. So the next time I come on here, I will have a restart of Ghost. And that is all I have for you today. Thank you so very much for watching. Let me know in the comments what your focus piece is for the month of February. And yeah, I hope you have a great day, great week, great weekend, whenever the hell you're watching this. Remember to stay safe, happy, and healthy. And I will see you next time. Bye.